Hello everyone, my name's Angela Santana and I hope you're all doing well today. Before I move on, I just want to address a little housekeeping stuff. I just want to let you know that number one, I am very new at this and I screw up so much. So while editing these videos, I'm noticing that the sound is off. I don't know, it has something to do with the editing software and, getting the sound to measure. I have no idea why I'm if I pause a video to speak, there's still audio going. So I'm going to have to hold my comments till the end. Although I ask that you remain with me through, I think this is about a 15-minute conversation that they're having regarding the trustees, the mayor. We're talking about compliance to the ordinances, the rule of law, the rules set by anyone on that board, and the municipal code. I have to say I'm on former trustee Steve's comments because I've seen one or two. This is probably the second or third. No, it is the third video that I've seen where he was on the board of trustees, and he was really good at pointing out character flaws and how the law is being subverted in the village of Dolton. And the method that she used to unseat him is going to be in my next video. And believe me, you do not want to miss that one. It is so important that you watch that one. But please stand with me here. It's going to go about 15 minutes or I don't know, more like 20 probably. But this is a very important part, and I'm going to come to the mic, and I would like to discuss how I believe that the village of Dolton is undergoing a hostile takeover. Something, like I said, you run a government like you're running a business. And when you run a business, and if you have a board, executive board that you have, you have ideas, you got to run it by the board. They got to vote on it. You got to make sure everything's right. Usually small businesses don't always work like that. But when your company's big enough and you could have a board, they would even call them trustees as well. But it is run like a business. It is the philosophy. You don't run it by what someone's opinions are about social issues, because that stuff really means nothing unless they were hired to be social workers. Again, they're politicians, they are professionals, and they should just be worrying about what their duties are as the ruling body. So let's go ahead with this, and I'm going to come back at the end and I'm going to bring up a couple things, but stick with me here. It's very important.
Say, it was a town hall meeting here, and there was a lot of things addressed to the trustees as if we're haters, as if we're childish, or if we're just not doing the business of the village. The majority of the good things that this new administration has done, we voted for all of it. It couldn't have been done without the board of trustees. The money that's spent has to run through the board of trustees. The new equipment that's bought in public works was voted on by the board of trustees. So when you hear all this new stuff that you've seen, that's because the board agreed to vote on that good stuff to help this village. And it's unfortunate that we get left out of that. And like we're haters, or we mess with employees, and we don't care about people's jobs. I was an employee, and I've been there before. As far as people picking with your jobs, I wouldn't do that. So I'm saying that to say that this board of trustees have been putting the village first to vote on key things. This last budget, this administration got more money. 10 police officers, new fire truck, new public works front loader, sewage truck. The stuff that we voted on has never been voted on in the last 8 to 10 years. That's what this board has done. So I want to give this board credit, because we did not get no credit at this last, when we were really stepped to the side like we just haters and we just want to cause disruption. That's not the reality. So that's all I want to say for my announcements. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other board member?
Yeah, Mayor, may I be recognized?
Yes. Go ahead, Trustee.
Yes. Good evening, residents. Just want to announce, I've been talking with the chief, and one day before this month is out, we're going to have a location possibly outside the police station. I do have, on a safety issue, some gun locks that been donated. This will be the second time they'll be distributed in Dolton. Some residents didn't get them the first time, but we will announce a date that will be before this month is out. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can I be recognized?
Go ahead, Trustee.
Thank you very much. My comment is kind of, I guess, geared more towards some of the comments that were made at the town hall meeting, in particular some of the statements about why the board has taken, or I'll even say for myself, why I may have taken some of the positions that I have in terms of what has been done wrong. Most recently, and I'll just go back to the last 3 months, manual checks are checks that are just written for spontaneous things or things that are emergencies that were unplanned for. In the month of February, there are $125,000 worth of manual checks written. Those should be presented to the board, approved, and issued out. In February, that did not occur. In March, the board did not receive a warrant list. That warrant list was $2.1 million worth of spending. In order to spend money, so in order for the board to approve it, we should have got that, reviewed it, been able to make the proper approvals, or not, and that information was not presented for the board to even make that decision. More than that, the process for checks, because this is all set up on checks and balances. In writing the checks, the $125,000 worth of checks, as well as $2 million worth of checks, there should be 2 signatures on every check. The authorized signers on our bank account are the mayor and the clerk. For the month of February and March, the clerk's stamp was used without her authorization to sign $2 million worth of bills that were not properly presented to the board. In the month of April, again, the warrant list or the information was not presented to the board. That's $1.8 million worth of spending. Now, I would take from what I've seen that at least using the clerk's stamp without her authority was recognized or changed, because this time the checks were signed only with the mayor's signature on it, without the 2 signatures required for the necessary checks and balances. In total, that's $4 million in the last 3 months spent without the appropriate checks and balances. So that's one, what I would say, glaring, well, the spending of the money and the use of somebody's signature without their authorization. Right, there are 2 main issues that I had a big concern with that were not spoken about, or it says, why are things happening the way they are? I think many people have seen the meeting, so they've seen a lot of the back and forths, and I just want to go over high level because I want to make sure we're talking about big ticket issues, and to me that's significant. So that was one of many things that was stated. That's the one that I would highlight, and I will not go into the minutia of just, I would say, other personal grievances, but that's my comments for the record. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, anyone else? All right.
May I be recognized, Mayor?
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. I would just like to state, well, one, we are having a housing committee meeting this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. So our residents, feel free to join us. And just in regards to a few things that were stated at the town hall meeting, I'd like to just state that I've been here quite some time as a resident, 20 years, and I've been to pretty much every board meeting for the last 8 years. And in regards to the mayor, I've always looked up to her. In regards to her, how as trustee she stayed at every meeting, hey, my goal is to speak up for the residents. Let's speak up for the residents. Residents, I am here for you. So I always admired how she'd say that. And I was thinking, hey, you know, as trustee, when I was elected, I couldn't wait to speak up for the residents and to do the job that I told them that I'll do when I walked up to their door. And I'm just a bit disappointed at how now that I'm in the exact same seat as the mayor, and as I stated to her before when we met a few weeks ago, we have a lot in common. We're both single moms. We both graduated from Thornridge High School. And I thought that she would just be a little bit more supportive in regards to allowing me to do my job. As I stated to her, as trustee, I have certain roles that I'm just supposed to do, like oversee finances. We're entitled to a warrant list. Any dime spent by the taxpayers, we should be privy of it. We're responsible for the finances. Implement ordinances. If a resident called me and say, hey, we're concerned about some of the village's hiring practices, what could you all do? It's my job as trustee to implement an ordinance so that the hire and fire process, we can have a part of that. So that should come in front of the board. When a resident asks, hey, I want to speak in regards to Facebook, or I'm being blocked, or can you address this issue for me? I should be able to do so. So when I send an email and I request certain agenda items saying, hey, can I add this to the agenda? And it's not added to the agenda. These are just some of the concerns in which bothers me. So as trustee, I know everyone continues to ask, hey, can you all work as a team? And of course, that is the goal. I've met with the mayor several times. So my whole goal is to just work for the people. And I'm just hoping that she learns to compromise. I say it all the time, this is not a dictatorship, this is a democracy. The system was designed with 8 elected officials in mind, all 6 trustees, a clerk, and a mayor. So with it being designed with all of us in mind, there is a checks and balances, and there's a process. So that's why we're here, mainly because we have to follow a process and procedures and protocols. So again, residents, as I stated, I will speak up for you all, and this is me doing so. If I see something wrong, I have to address it. So that's my stand on it. Thank you all. And that's it, we there.
All right, anyone else? All right, moving on. Next, we have corporate bills. Let's start with we're gonna do board meeting for February 7th, 2022, board meeting for March 7th, 2022, board meeting for April 4th, 2022. Is there a motion to pay the corporate bills?
I want to ask the attorney of the proper way. I want to just have a point of discussion, but I'm not motioning to pay him at this time. What would be the proper motion to discuss this?
Well, routinely under Robert's Rules of Order, before a matter can be substantively discussed, there would be a motion and a second, after which time then the matter would be available for discussion by the trustees and the mayor. Having a motion on any particular item does not mean that that particular trustee has agreement with or consent to or is voting in favor of it when the ultimate substantive vote may occur. Does that help answer your question?
Yes, it does, attorney. Thank you. Well, I will motion for discussion purposes that we discuss corporate bills.
Second.
Well, it would be just a motion to approve the corporate bill.
Okay, motion to approve the corporate bills.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and second to approve all 3 sets, trustee?
Okay, yeah, so I guess my question is more for confirmation, because these were the bills that I referenced in my statement.
All 3, okay. It's been motioned and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, these were the bills I was referencing. I just want, as a point of confirmation, are all the bills on the warrant list that was provided to us Friday, have those already all been paid?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know, I have no further comment. I just think those should not have been paid without a proper approval. So I'll ask the other trustees if they have comment, and then I'll.
I got what, hold on. Further the mayor, thank you. Do any other trustee have any discussion regarding this item?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, trustee.
I I think Trustee House laid it out very clear. We voting for stuff that's already been paid. Approximately $4 million been paid without board approval. That's just unacceptable. So why is this even on here if it's already been paid? So if we vote for it, then they say, well, y'all paid it. No, there has to be some accountability for doing things wrong. $4 million of bills being paid without board approval is not acceptable. So I guess we motion to table it or whatever, but two of these already been paid without us. So give this to us after the fact. It's not correct. So I don't know what the board wants to do, attorney, what you want to do, but this stuff, 2 of these have already been paid. $4 million already been paid without us.
Okay. So you're stating that 2 was paid without you and 1 was not paid without you? Is that what your statement is?
Is that correct, Trustee House?
The March 7th board bills have been paid. The April 4th bills have been paid without board approval. February 7th was approved without the approval of the manual checks that was not subsequently approved.
So are you saying that February 7th, you guys approved that at your illegal meeting, correct?
I'm not certain what meeting you're referring to as illegal, but however, February 7th was a meeting that all board members were present. The bills were voted on and the vote was to approve the corporate bills, minus with the removal of all manual checks.
Okay. So for the record, anybody got anything else? Okay, for the record, residents, so you can understand where we are and what we're speaking. And bear with me, my voice in and out, I'm trying to get it together. What we're speaking of is the Board of Trustees decided to have a separate board meeting from the one that's scheduled regularly here in the Village of Dolton. We normally meet the 1st and 3rd Monday of every month. Because of the discord amongst the board decided to have their own board meeting, which we never ever do. The mayor presides over every board meeting. They had their own Zoom link. They sent it out to you guys and basically did not come to do their duties as trustees, which is to pay the bills. I still was present for every single board meeting, and I, as your leader, decided to make sure that all bills got paid. That includes our police officers, our firemen, our public works, all public safety items got paid at the meeting. I don't understand why any trustee would feel that it's okay not to show up, to be present, to take care of their duties, what they got elected to do. I hear trustee Norris say that, but no one showed up to make sure that you guys was safe. I made sure that the bills got paid. I did not use anyone's stamp. They're saying I used someone's stamp. I don't have to. I didn't need to. The bills got paid with Tiffany Henyard's name on the paychecks that go out to our police officers. It goes out to our public work, our employees that work here in the Village of Dolton. That's what happened. So people can say whatever they want up here. They can point the finger, they can say what I shouldn't do or wouldn't do, but the problem is they have to take responsibility for their action, which is show up to a board meeting and take care of the business at hand. We get paid to take care of board meetings every 2 weeks, which is to pay corporate bills, which includes the employees' payroll. I have not spent $4 million. They throw numbers out, they pull numbers out of the air, wherever they're getting their numbers from, at least be factual about it. But I did make sure that the staff got paid here because I didn't want anyone to call the Village of Dolton and say, hey, I just had a break-in. And then we have a police officer on call to go to that property, but guess what? Y'all ain't paid them for 2 months that y'all missed here at the board meeting. So what do? I take responsibility because who gonna get the hit? The mayor. It would be the mayor's fault. It would not be the board's fault when something go wrong and we do not pay our public servants, which is our police department. And I stress that because we have to make hard choices. Sometimes people don't understand what it is you're doing or why you're doing it. And I'm explaining to you why I did what I did, which is pay the bills. You have to keep lights on. You have to keep people fed. People come here and do a job, and we have to pay them. If we do not pay them, guess what? Now you guys suffer, the residents. Now you don't have public service. So that is the reason for why the bills still got paid, despite the trustees showing up to a board meeting, which you guys elected them to do. I never not did my job, not showing up to an actual board meeting. I always come equipped and prepared to do the will of the people, and that is to go over corporate bills. So that is the reason. If the board of trustees chooses not to pay the bills or approve them right now, then that's their prerogative. But right now, the bills are paid. We are on time. Lights and water will continue. With the city of Chicago, we haven't missed a beat, which we signed agreements to make sure that these things are timely and in order, despite what people may feel up here. That just like you, head of your household. No matter what, you're gonna make sure that light, gas, and water is on, no matter what. And that's what you guys elected me to do, to oversee the village and make sure that we're not in a home. Any other comments, trustee?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We're not pulling these numbers out of nowhere. That's the word list. It's the numbers, it's the monthly bills. And we have a quorum. It's the board of trustees meeting. We had a quorum. You could have sent the bills to a warrant list for a consent agenda or something. You paid them anyway. We never seen them. We never seen them. So that's just unacceptable. All we asking this administration to do is this former trustee used to sit down here and bend over and say, work with your board, Mayor. Talk to your board, Mayor. That's not what we're experiencing right now. So you have to be accountable for spending $4 million. Yes, we're not pulling these numbers, approximately $4 million. We're not pulling these, that's the monthly bills. I mean, $125,000 in manual checks, which they used to make a big stink out of manual checks getting paid without board approval. This stuff that been going on that she complained about. So all we're asking to do, be the mayor that you complained about. That's all we asked you to do. So we didn't show up to meet because you start muting our mics. It's just the level of control and a lot of dictatorship that we're witnessing and participating is wrong. So we had our own Zoom link and we conducted the meeting because she wasn't putting our stuff on the agenda. She put stuff through they wouldn't put on the agenda. That's wrong. It was wrong when she was a trustee. If she put something through and the administration don't put it on the agenda, what we did, she muted our mics and didn't put our stuff on the agenda. So we said, I do media. We do our own Zoom link. She could have got on the meeting and presided over the whole meeting. She did it one time. She got on meeting, presided over the mayor over the meeting. 2 times we didn't, she didn't want to get on. So we conducted the handle the business of the village. We put our agenda together, the stuff that she wouldn't put on the agenda. So that's what happened. And the stuff was paid without board approval. That's unacceptable. No matter how way you spin it, look at it, left, right, up, down, you cannot pay bills without board approval, not even let us see it, not even send it to us. And then we had to pass an ordinance to even have the village finance person give us the bills. Because they were telling them, don't give them the bills. No, don't give them that. Don't give them that. We're over the money, and this administration is stopping us from seeing the bills. That's the reality of what we're dealing with. So, I mean, we're not making this stuff up. And that's what this administration always does. We are making stuff up. No, we're not making this stuff up. We're not just pulling us out of the air. This is facts, actual facts. And we want to work with this administration. If we didn't want to work with this administration, we wouldn't have passed all the spending that we did when we first got in here. All the compromising that we did this first 6-7 months of this administration. We compromised so much, and we get spitted on, talked bad to. Everybody watches Zoom meetings. You get talked to you like you a child, like we work for her or something like that, and y'all seen that. Some of y'all watching me and get mad because like, damn, she's gonna talk to y'all like y'all children. We suffered that, and we took it with dignity and professionalism, and we still here. We want to move forward this village forward. Even this flooring, all this stuff, this money that we spend, we don't know how much they spent on this. We don't. It looks nice, we don't know how. I think they spent almost $30,000. We don't know how. It looks nice. I like the fact that it looks, but we just want transparency. There's nothing wrong with transparency. And that's what she demanded as a trustee, and we're demanding that of her. And that's not happening.
All right.
May I speak?
Yes. Go ahead.
Just in regards to the bills, I think that was my main concern. That's my main concern in regards to voting to approve the bills. I understand that I'm new, but I don't think that I'll be doing justice for the residents if I went and approved something that I haven't seen. It just wouldn't make sense. and I just wouldn't be doing a great job as trustee if I did that. So in that event, yeah, with the other trustees, I won't be able to prove this.
I just have one thing to add to that. I did come to the Village Hall seeking a warrant list. I was told to ask the person over finance, ask the village administrator, well, ask the mayor. I had a meeting with the mayor, and I was told that I would get that warrant list. And as of today, I just got that warrant list Saturday. So again, games are being played. You come here, I sat down, had a meeting, willing to work. Let's get this village back on track. Again, games are being played with the trustees. As I say, you ask this person, you ask that person, you ask the next person. So it's like I'm going around in circles. Nobody can give me an answer as to where I can get the warrant list. Saturday, finally, Saturday evening, the warrant list came out. Who's looking for a Saturday evening? Nobody. You're not even home Saturday evening. So you sent a 95-page warrant list for me to review over the Easter holiday weekend when you're spending with your family. Again, you can't approve things that you don't know what you're spending. Me, I can speak for myself. It's going to take me time. Before I approve anything, I need to review it. That's just how I work. Checks and balance. Now, if anybody else wants to take it and say, hey, let's roll with it, I don't roll like that. I need to review what I'm paying for. Hey, and if everything's cool, go ahead and pay for it. But I will not pay for anything that I have not reviewed. Thank you.
Okay, this item has been actually one of the items that was listed in the lawsuits that the trustees approved within the previous 2 weeks. Being that there's obvious disagreement on this, I want to motion that we table these agenda items pending the results of the litigation.
Okay.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. Now let me get my point out. One, a couple things that you guys said that's untrue, that's false, and I want to put it on for the record. Number one, you guys approved the floors here at Village Hall at a board meeting. Number two, if you guys would show up to the board meetings like you're supposed to do, you will have your complete package, which you get every single board meeting. But when you guys want to go and host your own meeting, you guys can put your own package together. And the reason why I'm stating this, residents, they have the same access that I have, which is my viewpoint. That means every vendor, every bill, anything we pay out, or anybody that turns in an invoice is on my viewpoint. Because when I became mayor, I wanted everything to be transparent, and I wanted them to have access to what I have access to. So I had them come in, do a training, and learn how to utilize my viewpoint. So now they will have the invoices and the things they're claiming they do not have, and they have at their fingertips. All they have to do is read or come in and learn how to utilize it, and that way they will know how to navigate through the system. I think that's what the issue is on us not understanding that you have what I have. And if you want the report, all you have to do is press print. That's it. And you have the same report that we get every single board meeting. Next, you guys had your board meeting for February 7th, because you just stated you approved one set of the bills, but you didn't approve the other two set of the bills. You guys could approve the other two set of the bills because you had access to it. And I want the residents to know that they have what I have. And I keep repeating that because I'm tired of everybody saying they didn't get this or we didn't print that. I don't have to print anything for anyone because you can look at it. That's why everything's digital. And you can actually print it yourself or view it yourself because it's at your fingertips on your phone or your iPad. I just want people to understand where we're going, where we come from, and why we going back and forth. People are putting in lawsuits, which is wasting taxpayer dollars for things that they know is going on here at the Village of Dolton. As it relates to paying bills, it is legal. I can pay bills. I don't know why they think I cannot pay bills. When you become the CEO, you are the signer on the bank account here in the Village of Dolton. And as I stated before, bills will get paid regardless of the discord amongst us. We have to still live in our day-to-day operation. It has to still stand regardless of the infighting. And that's what we have done. So, with that being said, There's a motion and second on the floor. Can you call the word, clerk?
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, I was listening to the statement about what's on the agenda, and I'm going to piggyback from this last administration, and I do have to say for the record that so many agenda items, as you were with a trustee, was not put on the agenda. I want to state that for the record. Second, we, as African American people, have to work together. There's an office in this building that belongs to the village and the residents. There's a table downstairs. We have to get around that table and get on the same page. We cannot study, look at black dirt and not grow no grass. And the only way we're going to do that is have faith, prayer, get around this table, come together, go dot by dot, line by line, look at these items, discuss this among ourselves in-house, and come out and bring it to the residents. You know, this village is one that I have seen workers working here under stress. Whether you're going to be fired the next day or the next week, no one person should control nobody's job in this village. And I think that this last administration, that's why I sat and I watched certain individuals working in a certain department terminated for nothing, because you want to control what they do. And if they're not doing their job, and certain individuals that was in the water department, even 2 of them had to leave the state of Illinois because an investigation is going on because they did not want to do anything illegal. Certain people that was working in this office here, certain people standing over them every day and they can't do their job. That's harassment. That is harassment. People need to come to work knowing that when people walk in here and somebody walks in their office, and then somebody walks out, and then there's somebody come in questioning them, what did he want? What did he say? That's not operating this village. That's not sending citizens here to wonder if they come in, well, what did that resident really want? What that resident really want is pride of who they talking to. The workers here, whether they in the public work, whether they're here in the village, need to be working with no harassment. Nobody controls nobody. Your vote is your vote. But to understand how to grow this village is no other than any other village and any other citizen and any other people. Stop pointing fingers. If we keep pointing fingers, it ain't going nowhere, because that finger pointing you back in the mirror. We have to, you taxpayers, they pay us. They don't pay to see, and I'm not talking about anybody, they don't pay to see the bickering and the fighting. Not at all. This is why we can't move forward. Not working together. I mean, they can hate me, but I'm going to still love you. I'm going to say what I got to say. But we got to get around the table and work. That's it. We got to get around the table and compromise. There's no big eyes and no little U's. And I was, and you know, yeah, sir, I ran on rider's ticket, but mama ain't raised no fool. When I see something wrong and something illegal, I'm not going to stand for it. I love everybody that was on administration and the trustees when I ran. But when wrong is wrong, wrong is wrong. I'm not standing there. I return the cheek and do something else. And when I see this mayor, if there's something wrong, I'll sit back and talk with her about it. But you're not going to control me. Tell me who to talk to. Tell me who to take pictures with. I'm a grown man. You're not going to control me. The people voted for me. So it's not for you to tell me who to talk to, who not to talk to. I'm going to talk to everybody. So you pull me away from you. But in the long run, I got a list of everything. I done seen the wrongdoing. I got credit card numbers from the past. So don't play. I'm not going to impede the investigation that's coming, but I'm not going to be part of that investigation. But I'm going to stand for what's right, and I'm going to stand for the people. Now, if you see fit, and that's anybody, when anything has been wrong with this administration, then put it out there. Put it on paper. Let the investigation roll. But so far, I don't see anything. The only thing I see is us as people not working together with each other. Amen. That's it.
That's all
Because
it's
when
being
you
shown.
close one door, 3 or 4 open.
Amen.
So let's stop finger pointing. Love you all, but we need to get together, get round this table, and get this ball rolling. If it's a dream, let's keep it going with a dream. I'm done.
Oh, I had to let that play out. I gotta tell you, how did Trust Drew Holmes go from there saying you don't control me, I'm a grown man, I can do all that, to what he is now, voting no on anything or just not showing up to meetings? Now, that's just my opinion there, but I gotta tell you, this was a very, very interesting, just, what was it, 36 minutes in? I'm gonna start with, my opinion. We're going back to the beginning, right after former trustee Steve was speaking. Money, equipment, everything. Just like he said, everything, whatever you do in with the taxpayers' money, it has to be voted on. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are running things. They're supposed to be working for you. So if there's anything that the mayor's wanting to do and you're not online, you're not on, with it, you have the right to speak up. And yeah, the trustees have a right to research and decide, make an educated decision on what's going on. Now, hiding things, that's just wrong. My next one right here, the vitriol. Of course, the mayor, it's so much vitriol, and anyone who has managed anything in their life, from business to homes to whatever, when you're the leader, you're the one accountable. Every success, every failure, it falls on the responsibility of the leader. When the leader says, you know what, we're all riding these horses together, but she's going to start taking the reins of your horses and going, that's not right. You have tyranny, dictatorship. So, I can't remember where that was. When Trustee House started talking, he's following procedure. He's getting on the record everything that they're supposed to do, how everything is supposed to be paid. That you can pull out the ordinances, you could, and you could probably cite that. However, nothing. And I also got to say about Miss Norwood, Brittany Norwood, she's very well spoken, good person. She really values her job. When I looked at her body language and everything, I knew she was tense, because you've got a mayor here who is, she has created a very hostile work environment. Very hostile. And if she's not running it, the day-to-day there, whoever's running day-to-day is creating a hostile work environment. And we're going to be going into my hostile takeover, I can't think of the word, hypothesis. Let's see what happens. But anyways, when Brittany Norwood spoke, she spoke of democracy. In a democracy, it is majority rule. So whoever your trustees, they vote yes, then it goes through. If the majority says no, then it does not, a bill does not get paid or anything. You need permission. And somehow some of these people, they got mixed up where they think that their role is, I'm the one who says what's going on here. Why have a board of trustees if it's all a dictatorship? That's wrong. So, but I got to tell you right here, in this Village of Dolton, the trustees are the backbone of the village. They have to look at the taxpayers, the citizens, the safety and everything. The mayor filibustering about how she got to do this, have her own meetings and stuff. Number one, if you do not have a quorum, which means a majority of the voting body there, you don't have a meeting. Unless you have a quorum, and the clerk usually is the one to announce that we have a quorum, we can begin. So, if they're not there, if all the people there, if you're calling that, trying to have a meeting, there's no quorum, you may as well go home. Nothing's going to happen. There is no way that the mayor has the authority to go and approve everything herself. She's not she's not the owner of the company. The village, she isn't. She tries to think she's the boss, but hey. Anyways, next one, I did notice, I'm not going to talk about that. That was just something else. I like it that House went to question the village attorney. That was really good back there. He asked the attorney, he had that little back and forth there. That is what village council is there for. So this guy was doing his job. Why he's not there, I don't know. But, when they talk about corporate bills, all corporate bills have to be voted on. Yes, payroll. Yes, maintenance. Yes, this. Supplies. All of that. It does not matter. Every penny should be accounted for. And everyone should know about it. Even the taxpayer. Because this affects you at the end. Because if they're short any kind of money, they're going to have to go ahead and take it, charge more taxes. You can't control your spending. They're going to find their money somehow. But I'm going to tell you though, right here in this snapshot with Trustee Holmes, it surprised me. From what because I've seen a couple videos more recent, and I'm like, man, he's voting no on everything, or he's not there. But this is probably the first time I heard him really speaking out. And what happened to that person? Because it seems like a little bit later, I guess during their Vegas trip or whatever, he got on her side, so he was under her spell. But I mean, what he said here, that stuff is gold. And also, one thing I wanted to know is, who is the one controlling, who submits payroll numbers, like who gets paid and things and that. That's interesting. You just got this mayor there. She is really creating a hostile work environment. Yes, checks and balances, balance of power. You cannot give the power to one person. If you give all the power to one person, to hell with democracy. Because it's what she says goes. I'm sorry. But in a democracy, you do not operate like that. You're not a dictator. Go to some communist country and try to run things there. You can't do that here in the United States. We use democratic means to achieve our goals. However, we are also a constitutional republic, which means that there is a document that we have. You do not find constitutional republics anywhere besides here, and I don't know where else, but I do know that in Israel they are a democracy. Everywhere else is dictatorship, some kind of socialism going on. If that's the ideology that they want to adopt, they need to go to them countries, because you know what? It doesn't play here. Because what they're doing there and what this mayor's doing, it stands against the Illinois State Constitution, the United States Constitution, and it's not even anything that was voted on and approved by the board. Did the trustees have a vote to appoint the mayor as the only authority figure? No. It's wrong. So the way this is being run, you got to watch my next video. The balance of powers between the, the trustees are what holds the majority of the power. Because, yeah, what she's doing, she's subverting your guys' home rule authority. And, there's so many ways. So you need to go after her. But I think that's all I have there. But let's go into this hostile takeover I'm talking about. Okay, I know Miss Kiana Belcher, and I'm sure Jason House would know what I'm talking about. But, with, being in business and knowing about money, I believe, this is not only unconstitutional, but also I call it a hostile takeover. And let's look at this. If I'm wrong, I ask that any of these trustees go ahead and correct me, because I do know that when you run a government, you have to run it like a business. And again, the power is spread out through the trustees or the city council and the mayor. No, mayors, they cannot really take executive action on everything. So, but anyways, there's a video, a real short one. You can go ahead and watch that, but I'm going to go over this a little bit. A hostile takeover happens when an entity takes control of a company without the knowledge and against the wishes of the company's management. A hostile takeover is an acquisition strategy requiring that the entity acquire and control more than 50% of the voting shares issued by the company. It is considered bad business etiquette. Yeah. But man, it happens so much. It's happening in government. Key takeaways of a hostile takeover. It occurs when acquiring a company attempts to take over a target company against the wishes of the management. And point two, acquiring company can achieve a hostile takeover by going directly to the target company shareholders or fighting to replace management. And they want to replace their management with what we would call yes people. They're the ones that will say yes, 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 yes to the mayor, and she gets her way. And of course, we have in the next point, hostile takeovers may take place if a company believes a target is undervalued and when activist shareholders want changes in a company. It's just like where they started going after these companies to bow to the woke mob. As a person, my commentary is that I do not support that. There are legal ways to do it, and taking someone's life and livelihood and their years of work and trying to destroy it is like one place that I can remember it happened to was in Target last year. Again, I'm not going to get into that. All I know is that a lot of people boycott Target. They would drive right past there and go shop somewhere else because of activists. They were going after the company and shareholders and the board and everything, and they were threatening boycotts. So they bowed to the mob, and at the end, within 10 days, I think they lost $10 billion in value. So you don't want to do that. You definitely want to do that. Don't want to do that. But anyways, we got a tender offer and a proxy fight are two methods of achieving a hostile takeover. And of course, there are defenses for the company that they're targeting or a golden parachute to ward off these. So here you go. A little infographic. You can read more about that. But yeah, noticing how that's happening. Now, as we can see, I'm gonna turn it full circle. I am going to talk about in my next video, and you do not want to miss it. Don't miss it. It is going to be, I'm going to show the strategy that the mayor used to unseat former trustee Steve. When you know the game, you can counter it very easily. Yeah. Be blessed, okay? Have a great evening. Bye.